quick plug, don't forget to come back to the channel this evening for my latest review of the newest episode of Better Call Saul. But this video is going to be movies or a TV show you may have missed, Volume 4. Now, I know I haven't done this type of video on the channel in well over a month. It's just not something I can continuously do on a weekly basis. Otherwise, I would eventually run out of content, but I would like to continue this video series on a monthly or bi-monthly basis because there's a lot of stuff that people haven't heard about that I've watched, and vice versa. There's stuff that you've heard about that I haven't watched, because it seems like the movie and now TV show industry has been dominated by Disney Marvel, and I'm just so sick and tired of hearing about Disney Marvel stuff. There's too much of it out there. Like, they need to take like a year off from any content. That would be better for them, in my opinion, because now the content that they're putting out isn't necessarily the best stuff. They're just putting as many projects out there that they can think of, and some stuff hits, some stuff doesn't. But there's been a lot of stuff lately that I just haven't been a fan about it. Ever since the end of Endgame, I haven't really liked a lot of stuff other than Spider-Man No Way Home. I like some of Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, and that's about it. So I just want to recommend one TV show and 3 movies, and I think that's going to be my format going forward, is one TV show and 3 movies that I just want to talk about. I'm not going to give spoilers. It's going to be my synopsis of the movie or TV show. Maybe some people are in it, and maybe some comparisons for you. So you don't have to worry about spoilers, but let's start this off. The first thing I want to talk about is a TV show, and that would be Yellowjackets. Now, this just came out on Blu-ray. It's a Showtime original show. It just has 1 season. The reason why I started watching this show, I was watching Dexter New Blood on the Amazon Prime Showtime channel, and they kept doing advertisements for Yellowjackets. Well, eventually, after so many advertisements for the show, I'm like, you know, that actually looks kind of good. So I started watching it. I watched the entire first season. I must admit, I like the show. Now, it's something that I haven't watched over again, and that's another thing I forgot to mention. My goal for these videos is to watch everything ahead of time, even if I've already watched it. This I did not get a chance to watch again yet, just to kind of refresh my memory on things that happened that I may not talk about if I hadn't watched it. But the premise of Yellowjackets is you have a high school soccer team that's traveling on a plane to a soccer game. The plane crashes, and they crash in the wilderness somewhere. And they're actually there. Now, the time length, I can't exactly remember. I think it's 24 months, 18 to 24 months approximately. And then so they show scenes or stuff that happened on the plane crash in the wilderness here. But then they show stuff that happens 20 years later. You have older versions of some of the characters 20 years later. And it's just very interesting. I think they do a good job of mixing the older stuff, or, well, the newer stuff versus the kids when they were high schoolers, and the craziness that happened once they crashed into the wilderness. So it's pretty interesting. My lips are getting really dry as usual. The show reminds me a lot so far of Lost. It's not like Lost. It just says, I guess it just has some elements like Lost. There's a plane crash. People are stranded in the wilderness, not an island. So that's where I get the Lost vibes from. As far as people that are in this television show, I can't remember everybody's name, but the ones that stick out: Juliette Lewis, Christina Ricci, and Jasmine Savoy Brown. Those are 3 people that I know that are in it. There's other people I just can't remember their names, but I think it's a really good show. I liked it. It was intriguing. It's kind of a psychological thriller at times, and I think you should check it out if you're looking for something else to watch. So, Yellowjackets, again, you can buy it on Blu-ray, or you can get it on Showtime and subscribe to Showtime. But I would definitely check it out. Season 2, I think, is filming right now, and I'm sure it'll come out early next year. Next up, we have a movie. It's a movie that I recently watched, so it's not something I haven't watched in years, and that would be Cabin in the Woods. Now, it's a horror movie, but it's got some comedy, so it's like a horror comedy. The premise is this group of teenagers or young adults, I guess it's more like young adults, they go to a cabin in the woods just to kind of get away and do some illegal activities as well. And it's got some Evil Dead vibes. Shit starts happening. Monsters, or whatever you want to call them, start to come out. But the the premise is much bigger than we think. Now, as far as people that are in this, and again, I don't remember everybody's names. Chris Helmsworth's in it. Bradley Whitford, I think his name is. He was in Billy Madison. I know that's not the newest thing the guy's in, but that's the thing that comes to my mind. And Richard Jenkins, who was also in Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. Those are the three people that I remember their names right away. Pretty good movie. It's a little different, but it's certainly a horror comedy. It's also got some action and some craziness in it as well. So if you haven't checked it out yet, Cabin in the Woods, it's a lot of people that do horror content. They really enjoy it, and I think you should definitely check that out. So again, Cabin in the Woods. Give it a look. Or give it a watch, I should say. Next up is one of my favorite movies that I've seen as of one of the newer movies that I've seen as of late. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, it's not necessarily new, but within the last couple of years, and that would be Ready or Not. So this is by the Radio Silence people. They're also behind Scream, the new Scream series, or new Scream movies, starting with Scream 2022. The premise of this movie, Ready or Not, is that you have a bride, played by Samara Weaving, just became a bride, and the family likes to play these games during the wedding night. And there's one game that, if it's chosen, that it's not a game, it's real life. It's called hide and seek, obviously, but their version of hide and seek is the bride tries to keep from getting murdered by the family members. So somehow, some way, they end up choosing this game. They have like a little thing that chooses the game, and hide and seek's chose. So the bride, all the people have to try to kill the bride, like literally kill her. It's a horror comedy. It's a lot of fun, I think. Is it the greatest movie ever? No, but I really like it and I really enjoy it. It's got good horror elements and good comedy elements in it. And it's just a lot of fun. I've seen it probably 4 times at least, and I definitely want to watch it again soon. But Ready or Not, and it's in my top 30 movies of all time right now. Check it out if you haven't. Ready or Not. It's got Samara Weaving in it. I can't remember any of the other people. It's got the guy, one of the characters from Orphan Black who played Donnie, I believe, is in it. But everybody else, their name escapes me at the moment. But check it out. Ready or Not, you'll like it, especially if you like horror comedies. And the last thing I want to talk about, again, some of these movies are more well-known than others, but I just think the whole world is dominated by Disney Marvel, that I want to talk about stuff that I want to talk about. And that would be Passengers. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. It stars Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. You also have Lawrence Fishburne is in it, kind of. Not a lot, but he's in it a little bit. And you also have, who's the guy? Andy Garcia's in it, but I don't think he actually talks. So he's not really in it, but he's in it, but he doesn't say anything. The premise in Passengers is people are not really satisfied with Earth, and they want more to do. So they take a voyage to Earth 2, which means they have to go to sleep for 90 years, and then they'll wake up. Now, they won't be at Earth 2 yet, but they'll be like 90 days away from Earth 2, and so you have Chris Pratt's character randomly wakes up early in the movie, and nobody else is up. There was something wrong with his pod. So, initially he's like, cool, okay, whatever. And then nobody else is around. You do have a robot bartender, but eventually he starts to go crazy. Like, I'm just not liking this. I have nobody to talk to other than this robot. And he needs to have some, human interaction of sorts. So he is about to kill suicide. He's about to commit suicide at some point. Just jump out of the ship, and he passes Jennifer Lawrence's pod of sorts. So he decides to wake her up and then tell her what happened to his pod happened to hers, and it's a malfunction. And that's kind of the premise. Is he wakes up and then he wakes up and then he wakes her up, and just interesting stuff happens. I think it's a good movie, and I think it's good performances for what they have in the movie by Chris Pratt, especially Jennifer Lawrence. She's good in it as well. And Lawrence Fishburne does have a lot more to do than Andy Garcia that I had mentioned previously. So I like it. It's one of my favorites. It's top, what is it, number 5 right now? I believe it's my 5th favorite movie of all time, and I really like it. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check out Passengers. I love the movie. So that's it for this edition of movies or a TV show that you may have missed. Like I said before, I want to do this on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. Give me time to watch some more films that I think should be added into this. So again, just to reiterate, Yellowjackets, Cabin in the Woods, Ready or Not, and Passengers. So give all those titles a watch if you can. Let me know down in the comments section what your thoughts are. I really like all these movies. I think they're pretty solid. Now, if you don't like them, you know what? Let me know. Go off on me in the comments section if you're a fan of movie recommendations or anything that I do, and you want to help me out with this YouTube algorithm. Please smash that like button. You can share this video or any other video that I do with anybody you know, or just put it on your social media platforms. Please comment any movies you want me to see. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to watch them, but if you let me know what the movie's about and put the movie down there, it's something that might catch my eye, and I might put it on a list of things to watch, which I do watch random movies at times. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to this channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.